What's going on, guys? The Coding World here, and today I'm going to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about what I want my brand to be, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the end of Windows 7 and what you should do to prepare for it. So, the Coding World was an idea I had because I am a senior at Penn State. I'm majoring in IST, App Design and Development, and I really want to go into a future of building and designing and coding apps. Not just like phone apps like you might think of, like huge design products that a company might use for an e-commerce site, something like that. The biggest reason why I went into programming is because I love puzzles. I love puzzle games as a kid. I've always enjoyed doing them. And when I first did my programming class in high school, I was like, wow, this is just like solving a very large puzzle or a puzzle game, but you're doing it yourself. You're typing in the reasons, and you're like the building blocks of the things you use nowadays, but like getting there to the end is like solving a puzzle, and it's really fun. What I want the coding world to be is a place where new people can go and learn about future technologies or modern technologies to help them better themselves in interviews, better themselves in day-to-day conversations, make them sound more professional, and generally be more in touch with different types of technologies. And another part of this channel is I want to be able to do basic coding tutorials, where it be like a simple Hello World Java program or accessing MongoDB from a JavaScript Node.js server, designing a Node server, doing a bunch of other things, Python, C#, C++, making basic applications, maybe making some extremely complicated stuff. But that's the goal of this channel. I want to be a way for beginners in the tech world to learn some new information and get it out to the world. Now we're going to go on to this Tech Radar article about how to prepare for Windows 7 end of life. As we know, on January 14th, Microsoft stopped doing updates for Windows 7. And that's really sad. Windows 7 has a special place in my heart because it was one of the first big operating systems I got to use, and all of my first computers were Windows 7s. I mean, I had one when I was a kid that was Windows XP, and the first one I ever played on was a Windows 98. And then one Windows Vista laptop that crashed all the time and was terrible, and Windows Vista was terrible. And then came Windows 7, and it felt good to use. It was honestly nothing I could ever complain about with it. It was easy to access files. It looked really nice. Like, I love the light blue they put on everything, and it was really just nice. And it's sad to see it go, but it was getting old. Windows 10's pretty good. Windows 8 we don't remember that it existed. And this little article just goes over what to do and how to prepare for the end of its life. When does Windows 7 support end? It ends on January 4th, 2020. If you still have a Windows 7 machine, you can still use it. It's not like the Windows 7 Windows 7 operating system just stops working after that time. It actually you won't get any more physical updates, security updates. And people are finding out these little security loopholes every day. Like, there's teams that go out there and just look for these. So you gotta be careful. So you kind of don't want to do that. And then it goes on to what you should do if you still use Windows 7. Keep using it, but the best way to get around it is just to get the newest version of Windows. Just upgrade to Windows 10 if you haven't. It's great. It works well. The worst part about it is you come over to your search bar and you get Bing, and it's not very intuitive. It tries to look up for the internet to you for everything, but other than that, it's really good to use. What else you can do is move to Linux. I personally don't recommend this if you're just a basic computer user. Windows will work fine, Mac will work fine, but you can do it. It's great. I love Linux. I have a Linux machine. It's good if you want to get into like Pi-hole stuff, but other than that, I would personally want to recommend it. And then you can always move to Mac. If you already have a PC, you can just upgrade to Windows 10. You don't need to buy a new system, or you can build a Hackintosh. Hackintoshes is where you take a Windows machine and you put a Mac on it, because some Mac has some decent things for it. I don't know what they are. And you want to back up your documents, make sure they're in a good place. keep an external hard drive around, just move them onto it, upgrade your Windows in case anything goes wrong, stuff goes out of whack, move it back on. Box is a great way to do that. Or, like it says at the end, you can just stick to Windows 7. If you don't worry about your security too much, or you have like a really strong antivirus, and you might have to get around to the future of, here's some sort of way to make this program work because they stopped supporting Windows 7 years ago, and you're okay with going through those workarounds, hey, good for you. I'm glad you like to put in the work for it. Anyway, guys, that's what you should do. That's a little bit about Windows 7, the death of it, what you can do. It's a little bit about me. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys have a great day.